question's for Katee. How did you get approached to do The Big Bang Theory?
It's actually very, very funny. Tricia was shooting 2.5 Men, and Tricia and I have this kind of thing where before every live show that we do, whether we're together or not, we take shots of tequila.
Not every show, but like you go on David Letterman and you're nervous and the studio's cold and
so you have the little travel bottles of tequila. I call them travel bottles, like it's normal. Like you just travel with them. I mean, in the car, like you just travel with them.
She's kidding, but they're the little ones, you know. So it's a one-shot deal. It's not a open up and accidentally have more than one shot.
Right, but. But Tricia and I have never, I don't think either one of us had ever done any live television shows, so she was really nervous and I was trying to be a good best friend, and so I'm trying to drive from the beach to the valley with shots of tequila in my car so she can take a shot before she goes in front of the live audience, and I'm calling her going, I'm on my way, I'm coming, I swear I'll be there, and I'm sprinting in, and like Chuck Lorre's there, and I never met him, and he's like, oh, Katee Sackhoff. I was like, I'll talk to you later, I've got to find Tricia. and I came out, and while she was shooting, Tricia didn't let me stay and actually watch her shoot, but
I was too nervous to have her there.
So Chuck walked me to my car, and he was like, are you gonna do The Big Bang Theory? And I was like, really, you want me to? That'd be great. And because like I kind of, when Tricia was there, I was like, oh my god, this actually could be kind of cool. So I kind of jumped on her bandwagon. Really.
And then I wasn't the friend that went back and gave her a tequila shot when she shot. But she didn't do it live because she was in a bathtub, so they pre-shot that. So
I was in a bathtub.
So she wasn't nervous.
Swallow it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tricia.
Yes.
Weren't you just on that episode of Lie to Me?
I was, yes.
What was it like to work with that Tim Roth? Oh my God.
I've told my husband this. I have a crush on Tim Roth. I mean, not seriously, because I'm very happily married, but Tim and I just got along great from the get-go, and I was actually nervous when they offered me the role. I was like, they do know I'm 5'11", right? They do.
And he's so short.
And he's probably about 5'6", 5'7", and he's James Callis' height, so I was like, I'm used to it, and I don't care, but you never know how a guy's going to react, and especially a big star, and they assured me that the producers knew how tall I was, and I get there, and Tim was he was so incredible, such a great actor, and so fun. And if you follow the show, you follow his twit pics.
He has the best tweets.
He has the best tweets, and he realized very quickly that I was a goof, and so he loved taking pictures of me because I'd do silly things, and we had a really, really fun time together. I hope the show comes back. I know it's on the bubble.
It's a great show.
But I really do hope the show comes back.
Well, I was excited when I saw your credits and saw that, and I was like, oh yeah, she was the one that was in that episode. So
yes.
That was great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. I adore you, Tricia, but this question is for Katee. Okay, so...
I'm like, suck it!
Just pull it out your ass. Okay. So, were you smoking cigars before you played Starbuck? Or was that something you just choked down for the cameras, like you really hated it?
No, I've never smoked a cigar ever.
You look like a pro.
Thank you. Yeah. I have a list of credits now that are like, shoots guns perfectly, can beat up a guy, smokes cigars, drinks like a fish. No, I hadn't, and I was at a point in my life where I was smoking cigarettes, and so no one told me not to inhale them, and that scene in the pilot when we were shooting the scene where I punch Hogan, that was one of the first scenes that we ever shot in the miniseries, and so I hadn't really smoked any of the cigars before, and they started out with those really big, like, phallic-looking ones, and then they were like, this is not going to work. So they moved them to the littler ones, which was actually worse because it was like a cigarette, and I was like, oh, this is fantastic. And our mugs that we were drinking that was supposed to be alcohol was coffee, and it was like 6 in the morning. I was green by like 10 a.m., and they were like, Katee, you need to stop smoking these cigars. I hated them. I mean, I hated them. But people bring them to me all the time, so.
So there's no chance of you doing a Cohiba ad or something?
No, I I give them to my dad. I give them to my daddy.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies. This is a question for Katee, although if Tricia has any input, that'd be great. I loved every episode to one extent or another. Not many nits to pick except in the very last episode, which I loved too. It was just the part at the end where Lee is talking to Starbuck, or what we think is Starbuck, and she's like,
5 people leave the line. So let's get the what was Starbuck question done with.
okay. So she's like, I really feel like my work is done here or something.
Right.
And Lee turns around like, nothing.
Right.
And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So what'd you think when you read that? What'd you think?
I was happy. You know, I had said to Ron from I think at the beginning of the season when I knew that it was our last season, I said, please don't give Starbuck this happy ending where she goes off into the sunset with Lee holding hands, skipping, because it's not who she is, and I don't think that she would be happy, and I want her to have peace at some point of some sort. So it was. I liked it, you know, it was, you know, when she said my job here is done, she needed to know he was going to be okay. You know, and there's debate of whether or not it was Starbuck or not. It wasn't Starbuck. Starbuck died, you know. I mean, Battlestar took this metaphysical type turn with Starbuck and not with anybody else. So I think that it, you know, for them to have tried to answer that question any more complicated than she was dead and she's a ghost or she's this or she's that, I think it would have taken away from the realism of the story. Starbuck did die. You know, she had said in the thing with her mother in Maelstrom, she had said she knew she needed to die to fulfill her destiny, which was to let whatever this other thing was come back as her. And I think that you know, whatever came back needed to make sure all the, you know, the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed, and Lee was one of them, you know, needed to know that he was going to be okay.
Okay, thanks.